Hello there, and welcome to my Tap Titans 2.10, 2.10 guide, aka the tournament matchmaking fixer-upper. GameHive actually managed to push it out on a bloody Tuesday for the first time ever, which makes me look slow as hell, as I can't do this stuff on weekdays, kids and work and all that jazz. Before we get into any of the Gucci changes, a little disclaimer here. I'm not a build master, I am actually kinda bad at it. I mostly just run stuff through optimizers and compare results, prestige, and reset my tree like 40 or 50 times at the start of a patch until I find a build I like. Therein lies the problem this patch. I don't like any builds. Alright, like with every other patch, I'll run through optimizers, or optimizer in this case. MMLH, stop having a real life and learning and get your optimizer updated. Thank you. For now, here is Parrot. It seems pretty accurate and he's smarter than me, so it must be good. There are a bunch of changes in game and a new skill and stuff. How to use optimizers still hasn't changed. Watch any of my earlier videos. I generally always cover it, but not today. If you use any other optimizers, I've had to play with most of them. In my opinion, don't use them. The relic ones are all good. You generally can't go wrong with this. It's kind of common sense, but if you use them, kudos to you. Alright, onto the patch. The algorithm is fixed. Hallelujah! That's why no one complains on Reddit anymore, right? Hehe, silenced. Nah, I'm stoked the ban hammer started coming down on this. It doesn't help the situation and it just harms the community. Talk to the devs, they'll sort you out. Don't complain on Reddit. It's annoying. But in all seriousness, I haven't had an opponent since 2.7 until the first tournament of the patch. And I got one. It was one-on-one. We were evenly matched, but he beat me by 1400 stages and reached cap. Whales are gonna whale, I guess. My ult was incredibly evenly matched though, with everyone I saw in the top 50 being within 500 stages of each other. I'm sure there'll be horror stories out there, but from what I've seen and the feedback around the traps, I'd say it's improved at least. There's the new tournament rotation as well, but before people complain about it, no one is switching their builds to benefit from the small boost you get in the tournament rotation. Whales have no bigger advantage than they already have. It's like a 10 to 20 stage boost at best for switching builds, which Shadow Clone beats others by more than that anyway, so don't worry about it. Plus there's the relic farming tournament, which is going to be sick. New cap, 32k. It's only 2k, but feeling the grind with no new ascends to hit along the way, so it's actually quite painful. Searing Light, the new skill in the Warlord tree. Kind of feels like Doom and benefits all builds, but Warlord more so. It is generally always worth at least 1 point in it, regardless of what you're running. This, along with Summon Inferno, Eternal Darkness, and Assassinate, increase active skill timers by so much it means you save mana and you can play really lazily. I don't want to get too much into the patch notes, read them. The link is in the description. It's all self-explanatory really. If you have any queries about it, hit me up on Discord like always. There's a bunch of changes, most notably the big old nerf to my favourite, Heavenly Strike, a bunch of gold and armour reworks and some new arties, and there's a couple more to come as well. Okay, onto builds and annoying everyone by using my SP in the examples and not Lobby SP, RIPU. This has been one of those annoying patches where everything is getting balanced and I can't find something sick to boost my way ahead. Rest in peace, Stone of the Valrunes inactive build. You are sorely missed. I just saw Lemming Lava covered this summary on Reddit anyway. My opinion is almost identical, as it should be, other than Pet, which is gross. I don't even know how that's come about, but maybe there's something I don't know. There's a link in the description below to Lemming's Reddit post. Okay, so if you're early game, less than 30 artifacts, hating your life because Book of Shadows isn't dropping, then you have two options, Pet or Clam Ship. As always, hit me up in Discord if you need a hand with these, but just chuck your stats in Optimizer and you're away. That's all I'll be doing for you anyway. Pet is actually stronger early, but I recommend going Clam Ship as it transitions into the mid game and you can save on those respec costs. Spend your diamonds hitting the CQs instead. Mid game, which is probably most of you guys watching this, Clan Ship is probably the best build here until you get Ruthless Necromancer set, then it's Shadow Clone. Prior to the Ruthless Necromancer set, from about 150 SP onwards, Shadow Clone easily outstrips Clan Ship, but is so damn slow it is unbearable to play. Once you have the set though, you're away laughing as runtimes are comparable to Heavenly Strike. Heavenly Strike, as mentioned earlier, got hit with the nerf hammer. It's not as bad as everyone says and it can push about as far as an Eternal Darkness Shadow Clone build can in similar time. Faster if you don't mind losing a few more stages. With the right artifacts, this is completely viable from about 500 SP. It can actually be done at 350 SP, but you have to have had RNGesus on your side all game. Alright, in game, you big old whale lord. Alright, where it really matters. You have three options and a lemming option. Clan Ship, fairly slow, about as much push potential as a farming Heavenly Strike build, but it basically plays itself. Level heroes up with one hand and continue watching all the documentaries on the interwebs. Heavenly Strike, RIP my favourite. Now this is still pretty much viable. It pushes on par with the farm Shadow Clone build and a Clan Ship build, but generally faster. You do of course have to be active and mindlessly tap Heavenly Strike until the end when you time it with Anchoring Shot. Durandal pushing is incredibly easy now with this build too. Either that or I'm incredibly lucky and I'm in the sweet spot. Either way, I haven't seen a boss in game. Shadow Clone, the real front runner here. I hate this, but it's the best. You have two options. Put a bunch of points into Eternal Darkness with the Ruthless Necromancer mythic set obviously, and have speedy runs that you barely have to play. These runs push as far par as Heavenly Strike build, slightly slower but with minimal input. Activate all skills every 5 minutes, level up your heroes. With Eternal Darkness, my Shadow Clone goes for half an hour, which is longer than my run. It's ludicrous. The second option for Shadow Clone is the push variant. It's the best push variant in the game currently, but it's slower than me getting out of bed in the morning. I'm talking like a 4-hour slog session. Lightning Strike, Searing Light, Doom, all whittle the boss's health down nice and low, Anchoring Shot procs, it dies. It's painful, but it just keeps on going. Like 20 to 30 seconds per boss. Then there's the other option. Pet. I played around with it. It's just not good. It's slow, it's tiring, as you have to be perma-active, and it's on par with the faster farm builds for push power, but did I mention it's slow? Like, why would you have a slow build that gets to farm level? Okay, on to gold. Basically with gold you have 3 options. Pet Hardemitis, good consistent gold, fairly slow other than in pet builds, benefits nicely from boss and splash changes. This was my go-to last patch and is stronger now than ever. This is my go-to with the Heavenly Strike build, as it is consistent, reliable gold that you don't have to spend mana to farm. Option 2, multi-Chesterton stacking. So with Shadow Clone, don't use Pet Hardemitis. It's terrible and slows the build down. Having a stacked chest gives more gold and kind of just happens throughout the run. If you get stuck, leave the boss and let the build just keep running. Come back and collect your gold and continue with your run. Option 3 is Fairy. If you have a good chesty stack setup, your Fairy will be great too, and you effectively reap the rewards of both. Fairy is great, it gives the biggest boost, but is inconsistent and unreliable. You can't keep stacking it, as it decides if 90% off is worth more than that sweet gold gain, and then you end up getting millions of discounts when all you want is gold. That is the patch in summary. Shadow Clone is the best, Clam Ship is average, Heavenly Strike is fast, Pet is garbage.